Thank you for joining us for this episode of Springdale Today. I'm your host, Mary Jordan. Joining us today are School Resource Officer Travis Beyer and 9th graders Evanna Wilson and Asher Copeland, who will be talking to us about their experience with the Central Junior High School Junior School Resource Officer Program. Thank you guys for being here.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you. That's a tongue twister, trying to say Central Junior High School Junior School Resource Officer Program. It was kind of hard to get out of my mouth. But we're so glad that you guys are here to talk to us about it. Evanna and Asher, what made you guys think that you wanted to be a part of a program like this?
Well, for me, I had two other friends that were previously in the program that are now 10th graders, and they just thought it'd be a great idea to get some more people in, and they really thought I'd be a good fit, and I just loved the idea of being able to help others and also have friends with it. And as I joined, I liked it, and I just stayed in it. I thought it was fun.
What about you?
Well, I basically got recruited because I was wanting to join the Law Academy for next year at Springdale. And I emailed Miss Hinsey about it to see if I could. And I started doing car rider line in the mornings. Like, I volunteered. And Miss Hinsey told OB, and he came to me to join.
So, Miss Hinsey said, you've got to meet Evanna Wilson. She's going to be a good junior SRO candidate, and she's had volunteered her time out in the car rider line to help out in the mornings. You know, in my 10 years here, there's not been too many kids that want to volunteer their times to get here early in the morning, and I came out there immediately to the car rider line and recruited her to be a part of the junior SRO program.
That's fantastic. That must have felt pretty good for him actually seeking you out to participate. Well, what led you to being a police officer and then subsequently being a school resource officer?
So we're fortunate within the police department. You know, we have a career of 28 years. We're fortunate that within the department we got a lot of divisions. So, you know, I worked patrol for over 15 years, pretty proactive patrol officer, and I was a field training officer. You know, in 15 years of doing patrol, you know, you kind of get burned out a little bit. You want a little bit of a change. And so one of my supervisors or friends was in charge of the SRO division, Jeff Taylor, and he had tried to talk me into becoming an SRO. He said, Travis, you'd be so good at it, you'd love it, and mentally I wasn't ready because, you know, working on the streets, working with juveniles, you know, it's tough, it's different. And so my mindset back then was like, I'm just not really ready, you know, for the juvenile, to be with juveniles so much. And so one day I was just mentally ready. And I was hoping to get this school at Central Junior High School because I went here in junior high. And at the time, Officer Harrison was getting ready to retire from the police department, and he was over the SRO program here. And so as soon as he was getting ready to retire, I put in a request to become an SRO here.
And here you are.
And so here I am, and I've been here almost 10 years, so very fortunate.
Yeah, we are fortunate to have you. And the school, I'm sure, has changed just a little bit from when you were here in the past.
Yeah, especially this beautiful new building that we got here. It's been great to be a part of the transition.
Now, has the school resource, or the junior school resource officer program, did that exist before you came on, or is that something fairly new?
So I gotta give a lot of shout out to our East program. You know, they think outside the box. They like to work with the community leaders and stuff like that. And so I would say within the last 4 years, going back from when Mr. Mills was here in charge of it, John Nichols, now Coach Davis is here. There's a lot of students that want to be a part of work with the community like the police department and come up with ways to make the school safer, and it's been kind of neat. So we've kind of worked and partnered with the East kids to come up with this SRO program in a way that we can get a group of these kids who are interested in safety and the police or whatever to come up with an idea to keep the school safer.
Now, East is education through that takes advantage of service and technology. Mm-hmm. How did that kind of work to partner with a school resource officer program?
Well, maybe you can help explain, but I know right now they got a whole list in the hall of, community partners and what they do and what they can offer. And maybe from what I read on the posters, it sounds like maybe they're figuring out ways where they can, help those business corporations. So.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that program. Are there any requirements to participate at all?
So basically, you got to have good character. Grades are important. We like for you to make good grades. Just be a good person, and and be willing to, be flexible and do what's asked.
Evanna, has being involved with the program helped you understand police a little bit more than you might have before?
Yeah.
How so?
It helped me understand how much more the SROs help at our school, like with safety and keeping us safe and everything. How much they do that goes unseen.
And how is it different? You kind of touched on it, but how is it different working within the school than working in the community?
It's a lot different. I mean, we're fortunate in Springdale. We got a lot of love and support from our citizens. But a lot of the times you go to some calls, it's a negative. I don't know, what do you say? A negative interaction sometimes with the community. Where here at the school, I'm greeted every day with high five, fist bumps, handshakes. I mean, I'm so lucky to be here with a great group of kids, and I've made a relationship with some of these parents and kids that probably will last a lifetime. It's just a positive workplace here, and it's so fun. It's awesome.
Well, thank you for being here. While we were setting up, Asher and you were making your rounds in the school. What is a typical day of a school resource officer?
Yeah, so, safety, of course, is priority number one. And so the easiest way to keep the school safe is by keeping these doors locked and closed. That way, nobody can enter this building. In the mornings, we've got car riders coming in, bus riders coming in, and so, we're making sure that we've got teachers on duty at those access points where students are coming in. So I'll make my rounds, visit with kids, see how they're doing, and, I'm very fortunate this year, knock on wood, I've had the best start of the school year so far. We got a great group of 8th graders and 9th graders. So I haven't been too busy, but, I do still investigate crimes. A lot of kids will come up and ask, questions, concerns, or whether it's bullying, harassing, stuff like that. But it's been great this year. We've had many issues, but it's just mainly build a relationship with students and keep the school safe.
Being a safe adult for them to come to.
Yeah.
Evanna, what kind of things have you gotten to do so far?
Every day during second period, I have 5 minutes before class ends, I get to leave class and check the doors, see if they're locked and closed.
Asher, what's been the most fun for you as a part of the program?
I just think being part of the SRO community, being able to hang out with friends and being able to collaborate and help others, it's thrilling to be able to do all that in one place.
Evanna, was there anything about the program that surprised you when you joined?
Probably being able to do this definitely surprised me.
I think this really surprised her with all the lights and the cameras.
Oh, well, I think if you go to the Law Academy and you guys have futures carved out for you such as this probably won't be the last time I get to have an opportunity to talk to you guys, because I have a feeling that you have really bright futures ahead, so to include with the lights, right? Travis, have you discovered anything through the program that you wouldn't have guessed?
Well, one thing is, being here as an SRO, I get to see the kids in passing in the halls, and then, at lunch duty or something like that, or, I don't really get to visit that much time with them, but we have worked so much together preparing, last year, meetings and stuff like that, really getting to know him and these kids on a one-to-one basis. I mean, it's been really neat, to get to know their personalities and their interests and their hobbies, and, and I probably would have never been able to get to know them like that if it wasn't for this program. So that was been really neat.
Okay, good. All right. Today we're visiting with School Resource Officer Travis Beyer and ninth graders Evanna Wilson and Asher Copeland, who are sharing with us a little bit about the Central Junior High School Junior School Resource Officer Program. Evanna and Asher, could you guys share a time with me where you or your friends were helped by a school resource officer?
Yes, I remember a time whenever I saw an argument going down in the hallway by a couple of kids, and one of the junior SROs popped in and helped resolve the argument. I thought that was just a good moment for us to support our friends and community, and whenever they helped, they said that it was fun to be able to help people out and like do the thing that they like.
Okay. What about you, Evanna?
Maybe when like there's ever any just drama, like OBU like always de-escalate it or something like that. Yeah.
OB, does that stand for Officer Beyer?
Yeah, it's short for Officer Beyer. That's kind of been my name throughout the years. It just kind of sticks.
Well, how has this program then helped build that trust? You know, kids can call you OB, you know,
Yeah.
and have that relationship with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just been great. I don't know, a lot of kids do. They feel comfortable coming and telling me a lot of stuff, and you know, I just feel like, as a whole, between the students and myself and the administration, we just work so well together. And I think that's just a testament for the kids feeling comfortable coming and talking to us, or me, you know, that they trust me, and that will help resolve whatever issue they have.
And what does safety look like for you within the school?
So safety is important. I mean, for me, I mean, it's something that I lose sleep over. I'll think of things, you know, in bed that come to my mind. Are we doing the best we can? You know, is there anything that we can do better? And we're very fortunate here at Central that our staff and everybody and our teachers and administrators, we're on board, we're all on the same page, you know, that we have, you know, weekly meetings or monthly meetings, you know, for safety and planning and continuing. Are we doing the right thing? Can we do better? So just very fortunate that safety is a top priority here.
Do you feel this program is helping to build relationships between the police force and the community?
You know, I think so. I think it helps build trust. You know, the kids know that, you know, that we're really care, and that they see kind of behind the scenes that we, you know, take this serious. And I think for them, for the kids, you know, it kind of eases their mind a little bit, you know. So I wish more kids could see what we do and how hard we work, you know, and the partnerships that we have with the police and the school district. It's really neat. We're very fortunate.
Well, and Springdale has SROs or CSSOs, which are similar, in all of our schools. How do you see the roles of SROs evolving in the future?
Yeah, you know, that's a good question. I mean, we've got such a good relationship between the SROs and the CSSOs. You know, have had a little change here where we lost some middle school SROs and was replaced by the CSSOs. And so, as far as the future goes, it's hard to tell. I mean, I hope that the SROs can stay around, but you know, but we work so well together with the CSSOs, and we've even trained a lot together, and but it's just been a good partnership.
And CSSO stands for Commissioned School Security Officer.
Yes.
Now, are there any misconceptions about SROs that you find that you have to live through, or maybe help build some wisdom on?
Yeah, you know, a lot of parents will call us or call me in the mornings and say, Johnny can't get out of bed. I need you to come over here and get him out of bed and take him to school, you know. So, you know, I wish I could, but I can't. You know, that's more of a parent issue, you know, and sometimes, you know, I get phone calls where parents want me to put the fear of God into their child for misbehaving, you know, and I feel like it's not my job, it's not my place. You know, I don't want anybody to be, you know, fearful of me, you know, because I'm going to go threaten or yell at them or whatever. You know, that's not our job, but I will educate them. I will teach them, you know, and show them that, you know, I care about their education, you know, want them to come to school. But that's one misconception, you know, I often feel like police officers get is, you know, if you go to the store, you're out in public, they'll say, oh, you better be good or he's going to arrest you. You know, well, I I feel like that's one misconception that some parents have, but that's what I can think of.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you guys both smiled at that. You're like, oh, he's not coming after us. So what advice might you give a school that was considering starting a program such as this, OB?
Yeah, I really would encourage other schools to try it. It's been fun. There's a lot of kids who want to participate in it. Asher's group, not only are we talking about safety inside the school, we're talking, they care about the safety outside the school. So Asher and his friends were responsible for, we got in touch with the city, and we had this school zone paints across the streets. We got those repainted.
Now, what about you guys? What advice might you give students for maybe participating in a program such as this?
I would say just make sure you're listening to everything that OB says and the group. Collaborate and have integrity, most importantly, because you want to be doing things good outside of school and whenever people aren't watching, so that people know that the JSRO is a good program.
Yeah, and we try to teach that, you're kind of leaders in the school. People look up to you. So it's important to make good choices and because you're kind of held at a higher standard, I feel like, when you start, titling yourself as a junior SRO. So, but very thankful we got some good kids. But a lot of kids, though, one thing that really gets them excited about wanting to join the program is whenever I say, you get to get out of class a little bit. And then, so what I mean by that, and she mentioned earlier, she gets out of second block? So every week we pick 4 students of the SRO program. And so they're assigned first block, second block, third block, or fourth block. And what they do is, with the teacher's permission, schoolwork takes priority. So if there's classwork that they're doing, it's important, they can't leave, it's okay. But they ask the teacher if they can leave 5 to 10 minutes early from class. And then they will get out of their assigned class, and they'll go around, check all exterior doors, make sure they're locked, maybe do a bathroom check or something like that, and then come back to the office and report any suspicious activity. So when kids here get out of class, they're like, yeah. But I also, when you're in 9th grade, I'll sign an email for community service hours, to go towards their, because you got to have like 75, 80 to graduate now.
75.
So, and they put in a lot of hours. And, also, not only do they help with the security and stuff like that, but they also help with, like, we have a Halloween Fest drive coming up, for downtown Springdale. So I like to get my junior SROs to help donate or gather candy, or you're participating and trying to really build that I lost the word I'm looking for, but try to hype it up to where advisory classes can bring some candy. So we also have hat days every Friday that help support Shop with a Cop. And our SROs, junior SROs, will help, either spread the word on that, help get money collected on Fridays. So it's just been fun. So it's been fun.
It has
a good
to
group
be
of
fun.
kids. Yeah.
Shopping the cop and collecting donations and things for that. Now, Evanna, what advice might you give someone who is thinking about maybe participating with this program?
I definitely recommend it because it gives you like a lot of opportunities, like doing this, like podcast and many other things.
Yeah, I'll admit I worked in the cafeteria in high school because I got out of class 5 to 10 minutes early, so I appreciate that. Now, we talked about so much, and I appreciate everything you guys shared with us today. Is there anything I didn't consider that you guys think is valuable to the conversation? Anything you'd like to add?
I can't think of anything.
Well, we really appreciate you guys talking with us today, making us a little bit smarter about what's happening here at Central.
Yeah.
You can catch this and previous episodes of Springdale Today on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and your favorite podcast app. Thank you for joining us for this conversation, and we look forward to chatting with you next time on Springdale Today.
Springdale Today is a production of Springdale Public Schools Communication Office.
The podcast is hosted by Mary Jordan and is produced and edited by Micah DeLacy.
Be sure to subscribe to Springdale Today for free on your favorite podcast platform.
And don't forget to follow Springdale Today on social media for episode updates and behind-the-scenes conversations.
Thank you for listening. We hope you'll join us in the future. we continue to learn about the amazing stories happening in Springdale today.